Spider-Man becoming part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe was a much celebrated move by Sony. His appearance in Civil War was heralded as the best thing the character's done since Spider-Man 2 all the way back in 2004. Because here's a visual metaphor for what happened immediately after that.
Oh no. No! Ah!
Unless, of course, you count the bit where Paul Giamatti got his pants pulled down and he had like little rhinos on his boxer shorts. Because later he was actually in a big metal rhino. See, that's foreshadowing at its finest. Okay, so Spider-Man is back in pretty much everyone's good graces. And we're getting Spider-Man Homecoming in 2017. And then who knows what else. Whatever it is though, it's the absolute perfect opportunity not to just make the same Spider-Man movie again and again like we've been getting. Where, oh, I don't know, a mentor of his transforms into some kind of horrible monster and he's having trouble with his relationship and he cries a bit and then he's always late for stuff and then someone dies and he cries a bit more, then we get a funeral. The worst. So what do? Well, we're probably going to get a variation on some classic Spider-Man stories, perhaps Kraven's Last Hunt, or the one where Spider-Man turns into a giant spider and then gives birth to himself, or the one where his parents return, but twist, they're robots, or something. What a twist. Look, I'm on a level with you. Some of those stories are dumb. But what I propose, as I'm sure others have already, is an adaptation of the recent Spiderverse storyline. Now, I say adaptation because that is a super complicated arc featuring a multitude of spider people across hundreds of varied realities, many of which would just serve to confuse audiences. So why not kick it off with the Peter Parkers that we've already had? And what I mean by that, the likes of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield joining Tom Holland. We know that Sony have been trying to build towards their own version of the Avengers with like Sinister Six movies and a whole bunch of other crap, but this might be a way to build a Spider-Man team movie that could have the success of an Avengers-style film. Now, despite what you think of their retrospective movies, Maguire and Garfield each brought something unique to the table and are iconic in their own ways. I mean, by now, in a lot of people's minds, they're just seen as the sad sack who cries a lot and the one with the Edward Cullen hair. But really, there are more to them than that. And it would be nice, seeing as they both had fairly abysmal final entries in each of their series, to give them a fitting send-off. You know, because they just kind of drifted away inexplicably. And I'm sure they'd love an opportunity to redeem their own franchises, the way that Vin Diesel has redeemed himself since he did that Street Sharks commercial in the 90s. But I'm not gonna lie, I love this.
Hand shark! A good shush! Rocky Balboa action.
Of course, you can go beyond the three most recent Spider-Men and get someone like, Emma Stone, who was considered one of the best parts of the Amazing Spider-Man films. Imagine seeing her turn up as Spider-Gwen. Obviously, this version of the character is from a reality where her neck isn't broken by her boyfriend. I mean, look, she was probably gonna die anyway, but watch this. Brutal. You could also chuck in a variation of the 1970s Spider-Man that isn't very good, but it's pretty funny, and the Japanese version that isn't very good, but it's really funny. Plus, also he has like a giant robot. You could include a moment when Norman Osborn is all, I'm the Green Goblin. Stop! There's even an opportunity, with a bit of tweaking, to introduce some other fan-favourite versions of Spider-Man. You could do Miles Morales, Peter Porker the Spectacular Spider-Ham, Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Woman, Superior Spider-Man, Italian Spider-Man. Mamma mia, get this guy a cappuccino. Now, I'm not saying all of these would need to be introduced necessarily. There is a risk in doing so that you're overcomplicating the universe. Maybe you just want to make that kind of, tight Avengers team, like 5 or 6. But if they were to jam in as many Spider-Men, women, and animals as possible, a lot of these could be like, little Easter eggs and cameo roles. You'd also have to convincingly introduce the idea of multiple dimensions into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which could absolutely be done. I mean, they started with tech, then they went biology, science so close to magic that it's pretty much magic, and soon we'll be getting actual magic. And by actual magic, I mean nonsense comic book magic. But out of all of this, if Sony and Marvel did do it, I would be super upset if they didn't get perhaps the greatest Spider-Man of all. Couple of questions though. Would you be game for a Spider-Verse movie? And do you have a favourite version of Spider-Man that you would absolutely love to see? Literally anyone. And if you're keen, I have a podcast called The Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. I like it, but you know what? You shouldn't take my word for it, because clearly I'm biased. So maybe check it out for yourself if you want. It's linked below. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Alright, thanks everyone. Take care.